Tim Anderson has not been upholding that role and responsibility both on and off the field, sadly. It's so much going on with these athletes nowadays. I feel like I can't even get off of it. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? If y'all don't know me, if y'all haven't seen me before, it's your girl B Octavia, and I am back with another video. Now today will be about Tim Anderson, okay? Because I ain't talking about that fight that he had on the field, you know. Today we will talk about Tim Anderson and how upholding a image as a athlete is very important. And it's an image that you should have, you know, just like rappers, they have a certain image of having all these women around, all this flashy jewelry and living what they rapping about. They have to uphold a certain image just as athletes do as well. Their role and responsibility on the field is to win. You know, is to, if you ain't winning, then put in all the effort that you can exert to at least get close. But their role and responsibility, it doesn't just end with on-field play. I feel as though their role and responsibility off the field is to be women and men of the community. You donate to charity. You are a great mother or a great father in this case. Family man, family woman. I'm speaking on athletes in general before I speak on Tim Anderson himself. Tim Anderson has not been upholding that role and responsibility both on and off the field, sadly. I seen something the other day where I was like, this was bound to happen. Tim Anderson's contract, or lack thereof, a renewal of said contract with the White Sox. So Tim Anderson, who is 30 years old at this point, he was drafted in the first round of the MLB 2013 draft. He made his debut in 2016, and he has been with the White Sox ever since. He has had quite a few seasons with the White Sox, and according to the baseball world, this season that he just had was one of, if not his worst season. Tim Anderson, who is number 7 on the White Sox, I know that from the messy side, you know, and I'll tell you why. His child with the side piece is named 7, y'all. He is number 7 on the White Sox baseball team. He is now a free agent. And before that news broke, he went onto his Instagram story and he said that if my time in Chicago is over, I want to thank this person and also the White Sox organization. Now, at that point, it sounds like he still didn't know for sure if they wasn't going to renew his contract for 2024 or not. But after the news broke, he knew it didn't. And the official news broke shortly after. I'm sure he had several phone calls to talk about it and come to a conclusion, and then the news broke. But for some people, that doesn't happen. The news breaks, and then that's how they find out, unfortunately. But yes, he has had quite a year. First of all, he was being outed for having a child outside his marriage. And the side chick was not quiet nor apologetic about the affair. You know, according to this side chick / now baby mama, you know, they continued their situationship and he wasn't going home and all this stuff that she was saying that did make him look bad, but it made her look worse for, you know, accepting that role in his life. you know, and as a woman, as a mother, as a person, to put yourself through that knowing that he's still legally married. It doesn't matter where he lays his head versus where the children and his wife lays hers. It's nasty, you know. But needless to say, it was way more attention on his infidelity rather than the attention should be on his talent and on him as an athlete and a family man. The main thing, I mean, I never heard of him, you know, and I'm not a baseball person. I give y'all that. I'm not a baseball person, but the first time I saw his name was headlines about, you know, side chick this, pregnant that, all this messy stuff. Um, you know, that doesn't take away from him as an athlete and what he has done previous to all this messiness. The only person, and I can't even think of his name right now, but what I can say is what, AD? Is that his name? If I'm right, hit me with a like button. Cause if I got that, then I got that. J Lo's ex fiance, or did they? I don't think they got married. I think she ended up getting married to Ben Affleck. Anyways, that's his fault. It's his fault that the attention stopped being about his wins. The attention stopped being about him as an athlete. The attention was on his flaws. And once you have a child outside of your union, that's a huge flaw that nobody is going to forget. You know, nobody is going to let you, you know, go on that. They're not going to just let you, give you a pass on that. Even if your wife does, even if your wife still want to go to the events for the White Sox, and she was doing all that, like she was still hanging with the wives, and she was still front line watching him play, even in the midst of all this, and she better than me. I wouldn't have did that. After the divorce, you know, I bring the kids to see you at the game and stuff like that. But it ain't never gonna be, I'm still front line like you ain't doing shit. You know, like you ain't doing shit that you're not supposed to do when you married. Because a lot of men that are like Tim Anderson, they have all these rules of a woman, and a woman is not supposed to even talk to a man a certain way, not even supposed to bat an eyelash at a man a certain way, and we being disrespectful to you. You know, we ain't even talking about sleeping with another man, but even having a certain conversation or a conversation or any slight thing can make a man be like, you disrespecting me as a husband, you disrespecting me as a man. So how do you get away with it? You know, I'm not going to be smiling in no pictures with you like we all good and gravy. It's not like that with me. But I say that to say, you know, she different. um I ain't judging her. I'ma judge the one that know that he's legally married. See, both of the women know that he legally married, but one of them is actually legally married to him. You feel what I'm saying? So she has respect for herself to not go outside her marriage and to not be doing her own thing as he's doing, you know? But men don't think like that, you know. It's very contradictory. I will say that. It's his fault that more attention was on his personal life. And that's not how he wanted it to be. But apparently he didn't have the control that he needed to have over the side chick to not be coming out being disrespectful like that. I mean, no. You she He didn't have no control. And that's a damn shame. To not. To not have control is a shame. Honestly, it showed that Tim Anderson was cracking under pressure because this season was not a good season at all for him. He wasn't consistent in being a family man and giving an image of a role model that a lot of young boys can aspire to be like to anyone. and you stop being consistent with putting up numbers for your team, I mean, I could have told you that this was going to happen. But you know what adds salt onto the wound for me? See, I don't know too many things about football or baseball or whatever, right? But what I can say is what they could have did was traded him to another team for another player. But instead, they cut him. In my view, cutting a person from a team is worse than trading them. Like, if you trade him, he don't have too much downtime in between. It's like more considerate, you know? And it's better for your team. You get another player that might not be doing so good with that team, but y'all see potential that he can do good for y'all team, X, Y, and Z. And it'd be a fair trade-off. But nah, they just cut you, bruh. That says a lot to me. And again, I don't know much. From my view, with all that has happened, the final straw for them was that fight that he had on the field, and he didn't win. All of us saw the fight. We all saw it, okay? He did not win that fight, and I was just like, damn. Like, and I know they was looking at it like, damn, he can't win nothing. This man can't even win a fight. I really think that if he would have won that fight, at least they would have considered keeping him. Because they're like, all right, he still got the drive. He could, like, clothesline somebody real quick. You feel me? He could just, like, But no, like, no, he did not win. And I think that was the final straw, y'all. I think it was. I think it was. And I'm not kicking a man while he down. What I am doing is, like, if you already down, I'm the person that's like going to stand over you, like, as you're down. Like, I'm going to stand over you and I'm going to say my speech. So this video is my speech, okay? In order to lift him up again, I'm going to say my speech. Like, my speech is going to do it, right? And if he doesn't do the right things, he didn't listen to my speech, like, for real. Like, you know, just because you down, it don't mean that your ears is not open to the advice that you need to take, okay? If he don't take that advice as my speech is closing, he's going to continue to be down until he matures properly. Until his mental fully matures, and he's 30. You feel me? I'm almost 30 as well. I'm turning 27 in 15 days, or 14, 15. I don't know. I'm excited. 16, something around them numbers. He deserves to be down until he finally gets right with God, gets right with his marriage, gets right with his wife. Like, just because she keeping her eye on a prize, it don't necessarily mean that, like, what if she's gearing up to take you for all you worth? Because this shit was real public. Like, that's crazy, bro. That's insane. But it's karma at its finest. Don't just do some shit halfway for an image. You gotta fully commit. If having, because I think they got married in 2017. You know, that's right around the time after he made his debut. If I'm thinking that he's strategic, like I'm thinking, don't just get married for an image and for that to just keep smooth sailing until some shit come out and it hit the fan and it make you look bad. You already bad. So did you get married with the wrong intentions? Like, what? Don't be wasting that girl time. They do say what's done in the dark comes to the light, but I'm going to say this to end this off, right? If you're doing dirt and creating mess in your personal life, it will follow you into any field of work of your choosing. Trust me. And that's just what happened.